Great afternoon, Seminole family. You know what? Let me be inclusive to everyone on the West Coast and every other coast that we're here today. So let me reverse that. Great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and happy New Year to all. My name is Ashton Henderson. I have the privilege to serve as the Assistant Athletics Director for Student Athlete Development and Leadership at the best institution in the country that needs no introduction, but I'll tell you just in case you needed to know, Florida State University. I'm so thankful as a staff this year. We have launched an initiative through our Dare to Rise mantra called Dare to Discover. And we all know trying to find that opportunity to really connect and find out what's next in life after sport is very, very important. But we couldn't start our new initiative without one of the best to ever do it at Florida State University. And I'm biased. I'm proud. I had nothing to do with any of the success he had here, but I was his advisor at that time. So my chest is beaming with pride and everything he continues to do. It just amazes me. But we wanted to start our first Career Discovery Fridays with none other than my guy, Markindey. Markindey, tell the people a little bit about yourself and where you are, what you're doing, and what you did through your time here at Florida State University, man. Thank you for doing this, number one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me start off by saying Happy New Year to everyone. Hope everyone has a prosperous and successful new year. Ashton, I'd like to, special thank you to you for inviting me to be a part of something that's, needed and something that's very awesome, and that'll definitely be a resource to the student athletes and, our future leaders of tomorrow. So thank you for having me on here. So my name is Markindey Sineus. I was on the Florida State track and field team from 2010 to 2015, go Noles. During my time at Florida State, I studied accounting, finance, and real estate. I'm originally from Orlando, Florida, and then I moved up to Tallahassee for school. And now I've transitioned to the workforce, and I'm working up in Atlanta, Georgia, for a public accounting firm. I'm a CPA, or certified public accountant, at a public accounting and advisory and consulting firm. So what do I do on a day-to-day? Because not all CPAs are the same, and not all lawyers and doctors are the same. We all have our focus areas, right? So what I do specifically is I'm essentially the solutions guy from the technology perspective. So enabling our clients through technology, because as COVID has exposed is that, there are a lot of small businesses out there that are doing things the old way. And so what I try to do is reimagine what their business looks like through technology. That's the simplest way I can put it. And there's some nuances and as a CPA that, I help assist my clients through from an operational perspective and financial health perspective, but really doing that through technology and leveraging technology. Going back to my time at Florida State, I did mention I was on the track and field team. I did the hammer throw. So for 99% of you, you may not know what that is, but that is the ball and chain that if you ever watch Matilda, that when Miss Trunchbull is running after Matilda in her house and she throws the hammer outside, that's essentially what I did. I was very involved on campus. I did the Student Athlete Advisory Council. I was on there, or SAC as they call it. I also did a cappella group. I love to sing. I love music. So I was in an a cappella group in college. And I was also involved in, business-centric groups like Beta Alpha Psi, which is a business fraternity, the National Association of Black Accountants, or NABA. I'm in various, community service initiatives, Real Men as well. That probably one of the programs that changed my life and developing me as a leader.
Wow, man, I can only sit here and just, as I mentioned before, just being with pride for everything that you've accomplished thus far in the hour, and everyone, and many of us know the best is just yet to come for you, Markindey. You've done such a great job of being a strong ambassador for Florida State athletics and just who you are as a person. Your experience here really just everything we would ever want from a student athlete. You have been and continue to be, and it's just been an honor. Just as you sit here and listed your accomplishments, is just an unbelievable. You're an extraordinary young man, a generational talent, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Forbes and Afrotech magazines and all those things that are
Oh,
down the line for you, brother, because
thank
you
you.
are
Appreciate that.
immensely special. So this is awesome. So we're just thankful for you doing that and sharing your gifts with our student athlete population, because they need to hear that it's anything they put their mind to is possible. And just how you've leveraged sport and everything through that. So I'm going to jump into this. We just have 3 quick questions that we ask,
Sure.
particularly on Career Discovery Fridays. And our first question is, kind of tell us about your day-to-day job responsibilities. I know you have some very robust responsibilities and things that you do, but can you just highlight and tell us a little bit more about what you do on a day-to-day?
Sure. So, in the simplest form is I'd say I'm a business advisor. A lot of clients come to me, and a lot of times they don't have good financial information. And oftentimes they need that financial information, whether they're looking to get a loan from a bank to expand, their business, or they need, to issue, they need capital. So they issue bonds or stocks or something. So that's where I step in as the advisor to help my clients have better insights and data into their business so that they can in turn act on them in a more time efficient manner, more effectively, and having the flexibility of having that information, all through technology, really. So talking about artificial intelligence and infusing that into our day-to-day processing of our transactions or sales information. We're getting away from this manual processes that we do by taking mail and sorting through the mail and things like that, that really impacts that end state or that financial statement that we're trying to get to. I help my clients, streamline their processes, get onto technology that makes sense for their business, and leveraging, the people that we have at our firm, the technology that we enable our clients through, and the processes that we help streamline them on their day to day. So day to day, that's what it looks like. Clients, I'm hounding clients for information. I'm helping set up these systems for them, helping clean up a lot of the gunk, I'll call it. Right now it's tax season, the beginning day one of tax season. So in order for a lot of these businesses to get to the point where we're able to do their taxes, well, you need a good clean set of books, right? And most oftentimes, 95% of clients who come to us don't have a good set of clean financials, which is where I step in.
No, man, just as you're explaining this process, it's definitely a lot of nuance, as you mentioned and alluded to before. But you can tell how you have such a strong acumen and understanding of the business and the model and the infrastructure in which you've already put in place. So it's really awesome to hear how you process things, how it works. And
Mhm.
I cannot believe it's tax season again.
Right? It
I
just
feel like
just sneaks up on you, man.
I feel like we were just here and it's like, oh man, here we go again.
Yeah.
But most definitely, one thing about you and your profession, you will never be obsolete, brother. You'll always be to man.
Hey, and that was one of the driving factors. It's like, listen, I can make something shake at the end of the day,
Hey, that's what it's all about, man, and making sure you're a valued resource for many through this process. So, with that, just diving into our next question, is what do you love most about your job? Like, what is that? Um, what gets you out of bed every day to make you want to continue to do this work every single day?
For me, it's a community driven aspect. Um, and what that looks like is, the business owners of the clients that I service are smaller business clients, right? So their business is often the lifeblood of their life, right? So everything they do stems from their business oftentimes. I mean, of course, we have large corporate clients and things like that, but when you're talking about a mom and pop shop who's depending on their financials in order to get loans, it affects their ability to get a mortgage on their home. it's really important that they have someone who's their trusted advisor to advise them on good business practices, but also leveraging the resources and the tool that's out there so that they're maximizing their time building their company and less time doing the day-to-day accounting stuff that that's what I specialize in doing. So nonprofits is another example. I love working with profits because they are mission driven, right? It's not just some big corporate company that's just trying to maximize their bottom line, but really they're trying to maximize the impact to the community. So anything that I can do to partner with my nonprofit clients to help streamline their ability to then maximize their impact, that's really what gets me going, what gets me out of bed, and what really pumps me up when my client says, hey, I have a client who's a multinational nonprofit organization that provides relief to over 44 different countries. And what that means is that they're distributing vaccines. They are getting clean water to people who don't have clean water. They're getting basic essential healthcare that we Americans take for granted. And so my job is helping my clients to be able to then answer the mission that they've outlined, right? So, a lot of people look at accountants as, oh, they're the tax guys or whatever. But for me, it's bigger than that. It's more about impact.
Man, it seems, I'm glad you mentioned that. Just learning about what you do and sharing that vision that you have in terms of working with NPOs and showing your it all backs down and goes down to the mission driven work. And in our department mantra is to serve, lead, and live unconquered. And you are doing that each and every day, brother. And that's carrying it out in the work that you're doing. And you can see it and you can feel it and you can hear it. It's clear as day that you're in your ministry and you're doing well in terms of that. So we're extremely proud. I will say that 20 times probably before this video is over in terms of our recording of how proud we are of you. But I think it's so important too. In our office, we have what's called professional network in our community and career service center. The FSU Career Center is the best in terms of resources and partnership and alignment, and what we've been able to do and achieve is greatly due to their success. But I was a student athlete. It doesn't look like it now, but many moons ago, played football at Michigan State. But one of the things I knew I shied away from was what's next, because all I saw was a tunnel vision of me going professional or playing sports for the duration, because that's all I particularly was exposed to or knew at that juncture. However, what's some advice that you would give to our student athletes, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, who are in the career discovery phase at this point in their life?
So there are really two big things that I would leave everyone with. And the first thing is having a plan, and then two are using your resource. And I think those two things go hand in hand. Having a plan first is essential to everything you do, because you want to ensure that the fruits of your labor really aligns with your vision, your goals, and your aspirations for yourself. If not, then the time that you're spending is all in vain, right? So that's step number one. Define what your plan is. What do you want to do? Outside of sports, because sports is, that's a limited time window that we have, these young, fresh bodies to impact, a particular sport. But outside of that, what's your plan for, when you need to make that pivot? And that goes to my second point about utilizing your resources. As Ashton mentioned, we have top-notch resources at Florida State. You really don't realize how good our resources are until you don't have access to them as much anymore, right? So that Career Center, take advantage of the resources at Career Center. You can do a mock interview. You can have people look over your resume. You can have send out job you could do job postings, submit those through the Career Center. So we have a lot of people that are in your corner that are vying for your success, who want to see you succeed. Now it's important to you for you to have to assemble your plan so that you can then utilize those resources. Well, you may ask me, well, what if I don't know what my plan is or what it should be? Well, I think that's an opportunity for you to explore different things. And that's when you can get involved in something outside of athletics on campus. And that's something I was adamant about doing, ensuring that I'm connected with Florida State and my community outside of athletics, because you are not identified by your sport. You're identified by your purpose, your passion, your vision, your goals, etc. Right? So it's important that you start doing things that can either underscore your strong suits, your passions, or expose the places where you need to improve, or exposes your need to really kind of do some soul searching.
Again, man, you're more, and I'm glad everything you said was spot on. But something that really resonated with me is you're more than a student athlete. You're driven by your purpose, vision, goals, and the things that you have, and the aspirations of what you want to achieve. And that's something that I'm again, it's very evident in what you've been able to achieve thus far. And I'll say this, and it's something that 2020 taught us. And as we're looking forward and not looking in the rearview mirror, anytime I encounter or connect with a student athlete, and I always try to do it, but I'm being more intentional with that, is to tell them that, look, man, I love you, Markindey. I appreciate you. You are, I mean, there are no words in terms of that will ever be able to express how proud we are of you. And
Mm-hmm.
just know you are someone who many of our student athletes model and look after, particularly in this day and age of where we are with diversity, equity, inclusion, and you beating all the odds in that standpoint too, and being a rarity, an anomaly in your field in terms of in the CPA, which rarely the representation may not be there to the extent that we would like, but because of brothers like you and people like you, you're gonna more black and brown women and men and minorities alike are gonna, and men and women too, are gonna venture to this space because they see that it's more than just books and numbers and stock options and and comments, all those things that align with that. So we thank you, brother, for your time and being our first guest on Career
Yes.
Discovery Fridays, which we look to continue to hold down as we are in this virtual pivot, as you alluded to. But we thank you for your time today, man. I don't know if you have any other parting words for our student athletes or constituency groups or stakeholders alike, but anything you would like to leave us with before we shut it down.
Again, thank you for having me. I will say this, that where I am today is not by my own merit. I really had a whole vision, or a whole group of people, a village really supporting me, and, talk about tapping into resources, tapping into advisors like you, Ashton, and Sarah, who's up there too. And, you know, like I said, tap into those resources, ask questions, build their plan. Or if you don't have a plan, talk to someone who can put you in the right directions. You know, if you have an idea of what you want to do, reach out to someone who's in that position already, that can help advise you. Because 9.5 times out of 10, they're going to stop what they're doing and appreciate the fact, one, that you're reaching out to them in that capacity,
That's
so they'll be willing to help you out. So for anyone who's in the accounting and finance realms, feel free to reach out to me. My IG is at king_kindey, KINDEY, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. But that's pretty much it.
Awesome, brother. Well, I appreciated this. There was not enough film in this computer of mine to continue to make sure that we stayed on. So I could talk to you all day and night about all your successes, and just chopping it up about life is always a pleasure, man. So again, we thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for being our inaugural guest on Career Discovery Fridays. Student athletes, this can be you. You can do anything you put your mind to. And this is one of the reasons why we wanted to launch this, and so truly grateful. So I'll leave with this. Go Knowles, brother, as always.
Oh,
And,
let's go, baby.
We'll be looking and tracking on your success, man, as you continue to move up the corporate ladder and all everything that you do. So much love, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks.